Okay, guys, so first thing we're going to do is talk about safety. Now, you might be wondering why there's an image of one of the minions here. I believe this one's name is Bob. And the reason why is because this minion can help teach us about safety. The first and most important thing is that Bob here is wearing eye goggles. Okay, you have to have goggles to protect your eyes, and if you've ever watched any of the Despicable Me movies, you know that they blow up things all the time, so it's important that they wear goggles. Same in chemistry. We always want to have our goggles to protect our eyes from any sort of foreign thing getting into them. The next thing is that he is wearing gloves. Now, gloves will be used periodically in chemistry, but sometimes, for example, with flames, you would actually not want to wear gloves because then they could melt onto your skin. Okay? He has, right here, he has short hair, but if you don't have short hair, you need to have your hair tied back. And he is wearing the proper clothing. You can notice that his sleeves are short and his pants are long. They come down to his ankles, and his shoes are closed-toed. They're covering his entire foot. So you can see that this minion is helping us to learn how we should dress for lab. Okay, so eye goggles, gloves when needed, hair tied back, or if you have short hair like his, you can leave it alone, the proper clothing, and closed-toed shoes. Another thing we're going to want to do is what happens if I accidentally break a piece of glass. Okay, broken glass goes in the broken glass container. It's in the back of our classroom. It's a little cardboard box, has a little hole in the top, okay, and it says broken glass. The reason why we wouldn't want to put broken glass in a normal container or a normal trash can is because it can cut through the lining of the bag, and it could accidentally cut a custodian or someone who is handling that trash. And we would never want someone to be hurt. Okay. Something else that we want to do is in chemistry, this is like new for you guys. If you're ever using water and acid, okay, so water and acid, you're going to want to make sure that your water is in your container already. Okay, so the water should be in your container already. And then the acid goes into the water. Okay, you never put water into acid. And the reason why is so that the acid can sink to the bottom. It's heavier. Okay, so it'll sink. It has a higher density, and it will react at the bottom of your beaker or your vessel and not at the top where it's more likely to splatter. Okay, so, and also anytime anything happens and you're not sure, the biggest thing is always tell the teacher. Okay, anything you're not sure of, tell your teacher and ask. Okay, I'll never be upset for you asking safety questions. All right, so let's look at some of these questions over here on the side. So this first one says, your lab partner dropped a beaker and it shattered on the floor. You should, well, we said it earlier, sweep it into the broken glass container. Okay, now at every lab station, there's a little miniature broom and dustpan. You always want to make sure you use that and that you don't use your hands. Okay, Jasmine forgot to tie her hair back and it got caught in the Bunsen burner. You should, okay, so Jasmine's running around the classroom. Her hair's on fire. She should use the fire blanket, okay, not the extinguisher. Remember, the extinguisher puts out all of the air conditioning, or excuse me, all of the oxygen in the air. And so that means you may have saved Jasmine from burning to death, but now she has suffocated instead. So you want to use the fire blanket to put out the fire without actually hurting Jasmine. And the third question Jose rubbed his eye under his goggles. That's a no-no. And his eye started burning. You should go to the eye wash station and flush your eyes for 5 minutes. Okay, if it's still burning after that, then we would need to send you to the nurse or the hospital. Okay? And then question 4. Carol and Eric poured water into a beaker with acid in it. The acid reacted and splashed them on their clothes. They should have poured the acid into the water and worn an apron. Okay, now an apron is the only thing that our little minion guy is not wearing. He could wear a chemical apron here if he so chose. However, this fellow is not, but we're going to color him one anyway. Okay, so now he has this little yellow apron that blends in. You don't always need an apron, but you especially do it anytime you're working with acid or any really dangerous chemicals, or you just want to make sure that you protect your clothes.